Back when I first started dating at 17 years old, I was touching my wee-wee like it was a full-time job. At the time, I had absolutely no clue how bad fapping was for me, and because of that, I was hitting it multiple times a day. I had absolutely nothing going on in my life. I was just playing COD, going to school, and fapping. If you've ever played COD, you know there's like pre-game lobbies. I would sit in the pre-game lobbies in between my matches, and I'd pull my pants down and go down. It was a huge issue for me looking back, and to be honest, now that I think about it, I probably should have been buying Bitcoin or Doge or something like that. I'm sure you can relate when I say this. Any girl that looked at me, touched me, conversed with me, she was the one. Whoa, a girl likes me? Me? In real life? This is fair to say when you're 13 years old. That's just what happens when you grow up. But when you're 20 years old, you have the exact same mindset. You're a virgin. You start to think that this is actually problematic. There is something wrong. I had such low self-esteem at the time that I thought any woman was worth my time, which in hindsight is a huge issue because finding a good partner to spend the rest of your life with is the most important thing that you'll ever do. And when your mind is clouded constantly with thoughts of sex due to corn and fapping, you tend to make terrible life choices. I found that I was just constantly objectifying people just because I wanted to bust a nut, and my judgment was severely clouded by that. It may be hard to believe, but the reason women don't pay attention to you is much less to do with you fapping and much more to do with just yourself. To understand this, you need to put this into perspective. You're on your phone, you're scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, or whatever stupid shit you waste your time doing, and you come across this random video. It's a bait video of a girl shaking her ass. She looks hot, she looks sexy, and you're just eating it up. You suddenly get the urge to fap, so you go do it. Maybe you navigate over to P-Hub, but you get the job done. You bust a nut, you move on. But what you don't realize is that you just completely objectified some random person you never met. You're subconsciously teaching yourself to objectify any and all women just to suit your needs, just to bust a nut because you can't control yourself. You're not treating women as people, you're treating them as sex objects. And you're absolutely crazy if you think doing this sort of stuff has no effect on your brain whatsoever. It has a huge effect on how you view women, full stop. When you spend all your time busting nuts to pixels on the screen, when you come across a woman in real life, in the wild, then you have this weird anxiety that comes across. It's kind of weird to explain, but people can see, they can sense what sort of person you are just by how you carry yourself, just by how you converse. And then instead of blaming yourself, you blame the women. What's the solution? The solution is so simple, bro. I'm gonna break this down into 5 simple steps that you can follow. Understand when I say this, I said it's simple, that doesn't mean it's easy. Step 1, you need to find all the IG models, all the hot people that you lust over on Instagram, on whatever you follow, unfollow them, get them off your feed. You don't need to see that shit. Step number 2, you just need to stop watching corn. Step number 3, you need to find a purpose in your life. When you find a purpose in your life, you have less time to yourself, which means that you spend less time watching corn or fapping. Step number 4, even if you don't want to give up fapping completely, I totally get that, decrease the amount of times you fap by about 80% all up. Step number 5, the most important step, just touch grass, bro. Once you apply these steps to your own life, you'll notice that people just naturally pay a bit more attention to you. It's common for people to say, and you've probably heard this in other videos, when you stop fapping, women and people in general just seem to look at you a whole lot more in public. This isn't due to some pheromones or some shit that you're putting off, and it's more to do with yourself and just the way that you carry yourself. You'll stand up taller, you'll walk with pride, and people can sense that. Fapping is actually doing you so much psychological harm. Releasing all these chemicals every single day into your body isn't healthy. Corn and fapping is just another form of dopamine that keeps you weak and docile. So in a nutshell, when you stop watching corn, you stop fapping so much, you start thinking with your brain and not your PP, and because of that, you make much better choices. If you follow these steps, I guarantee you that women will start looking your way. When you take your eyes off the screen, your hand off your PP, your reality will shift, and I guarantee you that. I found my wife after I gave up corn and fapping, and my life is significantly better because of that. And there's absolutely no reason that you can't do it as well. Put your shirt on, bro, because you got work to do.